Hey, what's up, guys? I've been making a few videos last few days, and I'm getting a lot of great responses on not just the videos I've been making, but previous ones, which is great. And I've been responding to the best way I can, and I think that's the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do here is to create constructive conversations around the topics of anabolics and I think that some things that I might bring to the table might be something that other people haven't considered, or it's things that people have considered, but maybe in a new way. That's my whole intention here. So anyway, I'll go into the first topic, which is an anavar only cycle, which some people have suggested that you need some type of testosterone base to do the anavar cycle, and for the most part, I would agree with that. I think because anavar is the DHT derived anabolic, that you don't necessarily want to do that by itself. Although, that being said, because it's one of the more mild ones, and by mild, I mean like classically they would call it less dirty, because dirty being it's less androgenic. It has very much great anabolic properties. Anavar is like, I think it's up there with Tren, to be honest, in some regards. Tren's kind of the king, steroid, I get that, but it it doesn't have the same androgenic effects as even as testosterone. Testosterone is kind of it's 100 androgenic versus anabolic. Off the top of my head, I think Anavar is 300 anabolic to like 70 or 30 androgenic. That being said, it still has that very much a possibility, and I experienced it myself. I only experienced it after about 3 weeks of doing it when I bumped it up from 20 milligrams a day to 40 milligrams a day. And then I noticed the effects that was a testosterone suppression. But then it came back within a week or so after stopping, like the rebound effect. So my whole answer to that, to people who are questioning that, is in a low dose, I believe you can do an anavar only cycle, and that might be a good introduction to people who are getting their foot in the door into the whole anabolic cycle, like I was, to be honest. And the next thing I want to mention is the progress that I've been having. Some people were curious about that on not Anavar, but the testosterone cypionate, which I've been taking now for about a month. And I mentioned that I've been doing some CrossFit, and CrossFit is something that traditionally I didn't think wasn't part of my like training philosophy to go into that route. I'm more of a traditional bodybuilder and hybrid with a strength training, and but I really truly believe that the high intensity interval training specifically is a good thing to incorporate in for bodybuilders and strength trainers. I think that that's something that a lot of people will who are just pure bodybuilders, who are just doing machines like pec flies and bench press and even just squats and deadlifts, like the top three, the stereotypical exercises that you would do for bodybuilding and or strength training. Incorporating the high intensity interval training, which would be like a Mike Metzer type of philosophy into it. I believe that there is some strength there, and the proof is kind of in the pudding in my own experience, because even just within 2 months of incorporating the CrossFit into it, I've noticed a huge, first of all, the strength and the pump is there. I got a pump. I'm getting the delayed onset muscle soreness in like my quads and hamstrings and things like that, and glutes. So it's doing a workout, and I feel like it's hitting my weak points, if that makes sense. So I think there's something to be there, and I've noticed a major weight difference from even just like 2 months ago to what I'm at now in my look. Okay, it's not necessarily my weight, but it's the puffiness, and it's the my aesthetic is a lot better. And so somebody was questioning about that. The other thing I want to comment on is I'm just on the last video I just made yesterday, which is the testing for testosterone cypionate. I believe that there's many different underground labs which you can find in forums, and a lot of them stem from, I think, a common branch. Like, it comes in imported and then it branches off, specifically in Canada. I know in the United States and in Europe it'll be the same. And there's these pharmaceutical companies from China specifically that people get shit dirt cheap from. Now, there's a bit of a risk, importing things. If you get caught importing, yeah, you could face jail time, you can do things. But once it comes in your own country, domestically, and you buy a domestic source, the FBI or any type of intelligence agency isn't going to be coming after you for buying domestic testosterone cypionate on a few vials of it. So, but that being said, there's a difference between buying it at $80, $100 a vial, and $20 or $40 a vial. Now, there's with risk, there's reward. With reward, you want to mitigate your risk. So, what I demonstrated in my last video was using test kits, and I believe that's a good option to do for not just testosterone, but other anabolics such as nandrolone or DECA. DECA is nandrolone. There's two types, the NPP and the nandrolone decanate. But then there's the primobolan as well, and anavars and the orals as well. So I really recommend everybody to do that with whatever supply they're getting, especially if it's underground. And HGH as well, there's test kits for. Roid tests, just Google that. And I think better be safe than sorry, right? Especially when going underground sources, you're injecting that shit straight into your muscle deep. Like, the needle is like an inch, half inch, or inch and a half. You're injecting into your deltoid or your glute or your quads. You want to make sure your source is good. So I'll just leave it there with a few of the questions that I've gotten in the last few days in answering that. But as well, I just want to mention that on testosterone cypionate, since I've been doing it last month, my gains have been quite substantial. Nothing too crazy, because I'm not going in the crazy hyper physiological doses. I'm more than a TRT dose, that's for sure. TRT dose, typically is like that 250 milligrams per week. I'm at like 350, 400. But, everybody's different. Some people can be good responders. Some people could, make more estrogen than others, right? So there's some genetic differences. And that's why I want to incorporate primobolan in my cycle, specifically next month, even though primobolan's a bit expensive, and I'm going to be testing for that as well to make sure it's real. But to mitigate the estradiol effects, like that, converting testosterone to estrogen, because in the chemical structure, from my understanding, it's very similar. It's just like a matter of a few bonds that change, and testosterone breaks down into estrogen. So something like primobolan, it's a good, I think, from my research, is a safe and good way to mitigate that. Obviously, I'll start with maybe 100, 200 milligrams, and then titrate it up from there. So what do you guys think about that? I'm throwing it out there. Just this one's kind of just a cluster of a collage of different questions and things and comments that I've been getting in the last few days. Kind of trying to make one video that addresses all of that. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.